are these people?
This is all the Epstein stuff. And again, I'm just going to show some headlines here from a few articles that I thought were really important and breeze through them. Then we'll get to lightning round. But this was actually posted into Dissent in Bloom's Substack chat among her subscribers, and I started reading it. I'm like, this is actually pretty good stuff. From a smaller writer that you probably have never heard of called CackleMcShackles, who writes Candace's Substack. Very cute. All right. We already had proof about Epstein. The government knew, the courts helped, and then Congress walked out. Reminding people that Democrats could have been stopping all of this the entire time. Democrats could have been filibustering. Democrats could have been having press conferences. Democrats could have been doing a lot of things. But what they've done is willful inaction by federal agencies that enable the rape, trafficking, and abuse of vulnerable girls and women. All right. The timing of
I wonder why.
This is the other thing. Now, Doe 1 et al. Versus United States, which is a case filed under Federal Tort Claims Act, okay, by survivors of Jeffrey Epstein's trafficking network. I bet you never even heard of this. The lawsuit alleges that the FBI and Justice Department had years of credible evidence, victim reports, and internal intelligence confirming Epstein's operation, yet they deliberately failed to act. It's not a negligence claim. It's an accusation of willful inaction. All right. But what's really weird is suddenly the court allowed this case to be transferred to Florida, the same jurisdiction that historically protected Epstein and allowed him that sweetheart deal that allowed him to go home at night or to go back to his jail cell at night and go home and work during the day. She says the timing of this venue transfer and procedural reset aligns almost too perfectly with a parallel government narrative shift. In the last few months, Trump's allies and media outlets have been working overtime to pretend there's no Epstein client list, that Trump's name was never involved, and that the public should just move on. Meanwhile, staged Epstein cell footage was released to prove, quote unquote, that he died by suicide, even though the official reports make no coherent sense, and the guards involved, who are all dead now, never faced real accountability. While the court maneuvered to bury this live lawsuit in Southern District of Florida, federal propagandists were manufacturing doubt and distraction. The message was clear. Forget it all. Again. It's kind of like what they tell victims of sexual assault, right? Just act like it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But what they don't want anyone noticing is that the case was about to reach the point of discovery. If that happened, the plaintiffs could have legally forced the release of FBI documents detailing who in government helped Epstein, like Alexander Acosta, who protected him, like Pam Bondi, who blocked prosecution, and who stood to gain. That's what the venue manipulation was meant to prevent. This case is not about Epstein alone. It's about the infrastructure that shielded him. That includes agents, prosecutors, judges, and politicians. Discovery would have peeled back the curtain on just how much that system is bought, blackmailed, and or complicit. This is a really good article. All right, and it's somewhat long. Why was it moved to Florida? Again, because they were about to get discovery. Because the government manipulated venue using a stale legal tactic to create a delay, kick that down the road, and suppress public scrutiny. And now they have until August 25th to supply more documents to the new court. How about that? All right. The court, this is crazy, right? Justice Department filed a motion to dismiss, arguing improper venue because they claim that D.C. wasn't the proper location because the events in question happened in Florida or New York, not D.C., and that the plaintiffs lived elsewhere. So how could it be federal? On June 16th, the judge actually granted in part and held in abeyance the Justice Department's motion and gave the plaintiffs a choice: dismiss it without prejudice or transfer it to SDNY, Southern District of New York, who they don't want to send it to because they're anti-Trump, or Southern District of Florida, who've been very pro-Trump. On June 30th, they chose to transfer it to Florida. Case closed in D.C. Hey, how about that? Reopened in Southern District of Florida with a new starting case date. And again, what that does is kicks the can down the road. And this lays out a timeline, specifically in real time, of what happened. So on July 25th, the federal government again filed a request to delay their response to the Second amended complaint. The judge granted it. The Justice Department now has until August 25th to respond, a key stall tactic to avoid entering discovery, which gives more time to coordinate media narratives and political distraction campaigns. And remember, what they also kicked down the road until September is the Luigi trial. That also is going to be a distraction when it comes to the courts and to court records and court reporters. On August 25th, the DOJ must respond to the complainant by this date. If no further delay is granted, which we expect it will, this is the moment that the government either tries to dismiss the case again or is forced into discovery. What they fear are depositions of FBI agents, unsealed records of who protected Epstein, subpoenas of Justice Department internal communications, names buried inside non-prosecution deals, and potential exposure of intelligence agency involvement, which we know they were all involved. They used venue manipulation as a legal crowbar to pry the case out of D.C., where it would be visible, documentable, and politically explosive, and shoved it into Florida, where sealed records, local corruption, and media blackout will bury it. They did the same with Kilmar Abrego Garcia, CCOT deportation lawsuits, and other immigration trafficking cases. This is a really good article. Again, I'm going to link this in the description. I encourage everyone to go back and read the entire thing. But that's fucking crazy. If you're able to and it means, please support the media you want to see. That's what we ask you to do. We are user-funded here. Cash App is an app on your phone. $, Indie News Network is our handle, and you can send us money that way. Also, using ko-fi.com/Indie News Network or at paypal.me/Indie News Network. You could also do it at our website at indienewsnow.com. There's keep the media free tab there. And then over at the Substacks over at INNnewsletter.com, where we are about to go live for Uncensored Boats Smashing into Other Boats. That's a React show. And at IndieMediaToday.com, where this show has been live and all the clips will be published throughout the week. So please subscribe for free to Indie News Now and INN Newsletter and Indie Media Today, and support within a monthly or annual contribution there if you can. Support independent media because we need it more than ever. I'll see you next week. I love you all. And have a good one, everyone.
See you in a bit, fam.
Ciao, baby.
We gonna out of here.
No! We just fucking lost the stream!
I guess this isn't such an awful place. Is that what you